People learn by doing, and we learn even better when we take time to reflect on what we've done before doing it again the next time. We know this, and yet when organizations want staff to build new skills, they typically think of training, pulling people out of the work environment, teaching them something new, then sending them back into their day-to-day work. Now, there's no question that training can be practical for learning new skills. But organizations often find that when people return to work, the learning doesn't seem to stick. What happened in the workshop stays in the workshop. But what would happen if we shifted our thinking from training to learning? What if we stopped asking how we teach others and instead asked, how could we best support them in their learning? That subtle shift opens up a whole world of design possibilities. This is the story about how Global Learning Partners and one creative client work together to do just that. ProMujer helps women in Latin America to build livelihoods for themselves and futures for their families through financial services, business and empowerment training, and healthcare. They're doing great work in the world. And ProMujer faced a design challenge. How do we build the leadership skills of hundreds of frontline managers operating in 5 different countries with different job demands and realities? We explored the world of these managers and we heard their stories, and we discovered a few other important aspects about their unique situation and context. For example, we learned that their roles and the skills they needed were very different from place to place. We needed a learning approach that was flexible and adaptable to different contexts and standardized at the same time. We also discovered that many managers had been raised to the position of supervising their previous peers without feeling fully equipped. They felt they were kind of thrown into the pool and had to figure out how to swim. We wanted to take full advantage of their on-the-job learning and give them the support they needed to swim and not sink. Finally, we learned that managers found it kind of lonely at the top. We wondered, how could we create more community for these busy managers? With all that in mind, we set out to create a learning-centered design. We began by describing what strong management would look like in the day-to-day. Rather than just describe this vision with adjectives, we did it with verbs. What would an effective manager do in their daily work? Working with a team of managers and others from the organization, we mapped out and prioritized the critical actions of these managers at their very best. Then we looked for patterns. 3 clusters emerged, 3 sets of practical actions that were central to the team's vision of leadership, and a structure for the learning began to take shape. A learning journey, where managers tried out new actions on the job. We called these action zones, 6-week periods where managers would use their real work environments to try out new actions and individually reflect on their experiences. And rather than take this journey all alone, they would travel with the same learning community. They would start together in a 2-day launch and meet every 6 weeks to reflect on their experiences and to pack their bags with new information and energy for the next action zone. We called these gatherings refueling stations. This learning-centered program helped managers to see their day-to-day work as a learning experience. Today, the program is being used and adapted across 5 different countries. Managers are trying on new actions, reflecting with their peers, and deciding on the actions they will adopt. The learning doesn't stay in the workshop because it doesn't just happen in the workshop. By taking a learning-centered approach, ProMujer was able to address their design challenge in a creative way that goes beyond the confines of a training room. What creative possibilities could this shift from training to learning open up in your world?